What's up? Got a little bit before I have to be to work, so I figured I'd do a video real quick. I'm over here at Honesdale's Apple Grove Park. It's snowing out a little bit. It's not cold though. But I want to speak because I'm getting ready to really get working on my ministry stuff, even more so. So I figure, and that I obviously speak about political stuff. So I figure I'd speak on my choice to be, why I consider myself conservative. Alright, I'll just go down the list of subjects. When it comes to marriage, I believe that marriage is a gift and provision given to us by God, and it is His order that it be between a man and a woman. Now, as far as the homosexual same-sex stuff goes, I don't judge. No, not at all. I do have the one question that always gets an answer the same way every time, which is, why can you not go by the term civil union? Why does it have to be Christian marriage? Why can it not be civil union? Well, because insurance companies will not accept civil union and give equal coverage. You know what? That's wrong. You should not be treated that way. You should be afforded the same rights as every American. But your fight is not with the church then. Your fight is then with the insurance company. In other words, you should fight the corporation, not your neighbor. Force them to accept civil union as the title that gives you equal rights. Don't force the church to go against the word of God, as you have. So, that's where I stand on that. I stand against abortion. I believe no matter what circumstances a child is created in, that the Bible tells us that God knows us before we're in the womb, that God stitches us together. So, anytime, no matter what reason or how that child came to be, even in horrible circumstances, which I feel horrible about, but that's still a life created by God with a purpose. So I am very much against abortion. As far as transgenderism goes, my belief is boys are boys, girls are girls, men are men, women are women. That is my belief, and that has both biblical and biological backgrounds to my belief, in that God is not sitting in heaven at a conveyor belt, assembly line, drinking alcohol. So Peter, is this one over here? Oh, it's supposed to be a woman, but let's really mess with them and throw a man suit on it. And this man over here, let's put a woman suit on it. Oh, well, they'll figure it out later on in life. God's not doing that. When God creates a man or a woman, He intends for them to be a man or a woman, and He has a purpose and plan for them as man or woman, whatever He has created them as. For us, for anybody to say anything different is to say God is making a mistake. God does not make mistakes. Humans make mistakes. Humans make misunderstandings. Humans make misrepresentations. God does not. Then I'll also look at, let's go to the biological side of it. Okay, these children that are, 5 years old, he knew he was a boy, but he knew he identified as a woman. And they start pumping them full of these chemicals, these drugs that aren't even tested. They have no idea what the long-term effects are going to be. They don't care. They don't care. Anywhere else, with anything else, that would be considered reckless endangerment and endangerment of the welfare of a minor and incarceration. But it's okay here because it's in the name of progressiveness. So, now, whether a child or adult. You claim transgender. You want to go through the changes. Okay, if it's so natural, why do you have to be pumped full of hormones? Or why do you have to be pumped full of estrogen? Why are there surgeries involved that change all of this? Because it's not natural. That's why. I may offend people here. But it's my belief that transgenderism is a mental disorder. And, I mean, that's backed up by all the suicides. But I'm going to leave that one at that, and I'm going to move on to Christianity. God, they think they're removing God from everything. No more prayer in school. No more 10 commandments here, no more 10 commandments there. Can't even have a cross. Nope, can't have a cross. You're not removing God. God is everywhere at all times. All you are doing is making a mark against God that God will remember. Just saying. Just saying. So, my conservative views come from a desire for the old-fashioned family values, the old-fashioned core family, which I think is so missing. And I blame a lot of it on liberalism. It is the liberals who pushed to spare the rod and spoil the child. Can't spank your child, that's violent, and violence doesn't solve anything. Listen, if you are mad and you're raging and you grab your child and you're, Rah! Yeah, that's violent, that's abuse, and you should be arrested. But if your child has done wrong, and you calmly tell them they have done wrong, and you say you will have to be punished for this, and you give them maybe 2 whacks on the butt, that is called correction, and that is done out of love. But we're not allowed to do that anymore because that's abuse. See, Billy Joel sings the song, Keeping the Faith, in which he says, the good old days weren't always good. And he is correct. I remember times from my childhood where the good old days weren't always good. But they were never this bad. They were never this bad. They have... Okay, here's the only thing that's progressive about it. They have progressively gotten worse. We have a time now where if we look back in the past, the parents ran the household. Today, many families, the children run the household. The children used to respect the parents and elders. Today, many of them have absolutely no respect for their parents, no respect for elders. You know, I may be a bad example of this because of my behaviors, but for the most part, the children respected authority. They don't anymore. There's very little respect for authority. Children were taught work ethic through chores and earning earning that. They're not anymore. They're given stuff. They feel entitled. Sometimes they don't have to ask for it. You should just know what they want. So, to me, being conservative is getting back to, yes, I'm going to smoke. It's only a few a day now, honey. Being conservative to me is getting back to the core family values, core family beliefs. And liberalism, being a liberal. Liberal simply means you're open to new views, open to new suggestions, which I am still open-minded. I am not closed-minded by any means. However, my views, my opinions, when I make them, they are based on my understanding of the Bible. And that's where my conservatism comes. I said that word right. This is like my 7th try, and I always stumble over that word. So much so that I'm not going to say it again. But that's where my being a conservative comes from. Is that I believe we need more God in the household. We need to take the household back to the parents. Parents need to stop worrying about being friends and be parents. The one guy, I believe it was, I can't remember his name, but he put a video up. His son was kicked off the bus for being a bully, and he was punishing him by making him jog to school. Great job. And what he said in there was awesome. You must be a parent for 18 years. After 18 years, you could be their friend. But until then, you have to be a parent. You have to teach them the ways of the world and how to live in the world, how to be an adult. This whole liberal progressive movement is creating havoc. Havoc. The Democratic Party, I don't know how anybody can say, I'm a Christian Democrat. The Democratic Party's platform in itself goes against everything Christianity. They push for same-sex marriage. They push for transgenderism. They push to have God removed from everything. I'm failing to see where this is a Christian organization in any way, shape, or form. But my battery is dying, and I do have to get to work soon. So I'm going to leave it at this. But that's where I stand. There's probably more to it, but you probably don't want to hear any more from me today. This is my second video of the day. Woohoo! On fire! So I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to go warm my hands up because it did get a little bit chilly out, so I'm going to go put my jacket on now too. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a blessed day. Evening.